Hey there, design superstars. If you're crushing it as UX or X team leader, but feel that itch for something new, you've come to the right place. It's time to think beyond your current role and explore the incredible opportunities your skills can unlock globally. You see, I'm all about connecting talented folks with the perfect career fit. So, let's ditch the daily team huddle vibes for a bit and dive into all the exciting possibilities for your design, leadership, expertise. Listen, the world of UX or X is evolving way beyond just wireframes and those pixel-perfect mock-ups. It's about shaping how people experience products, how companies strategize, and how we interact with technology on a worldwide scale. Can you feel the excitement? Businesses everywhere are hungry for design leaders who get this complexity, who can drive innovation, and who can bridge the gap between beautiful design and smart strategy. Okay, let's not forget those awesome skills you've honed. As a successful UX or X team leader, you're a pro at understanding users deeply and translating their needs into amazing experiences. You can untangle tricky problems and find creative solutions like nobody's business. Plus, you think strategically, connecting those design decisions to the bigger goals of the business. Honestly, those skills, they're pure gold across a whole range of roles, not just in the US, but anywhere. So, let's explore those options, shall we? Top 10 Creative Journeys. Ready to broaden your horizons? Here are 10 exciting paths to consider, where your leadership experience translates into fulfilling new challenges. 1. UX Design Manager. Okay, if you're ready to take those team leadership skills to the next level, the UX Design Manager path could be your jam. Think bigger teams, broader strategic vision, and having a serious say in shaping how an entire product comes to life. And this role isn't limited to the US. It might be called UX Director or Head of Design in other countries, but the impact you make is global. So, what would your days actually look like? A mix of guiding and mentoring your design team, allocating budgets, and being the ultimate champion for amazing user experiences across the whole company. Got what it takes? You'll need a killer design portfolio, proving you know your stuff, solid experience leading a team, and a knack for understanding the business side of things. Often, knowing specific design methodologies is a bonus. The good news? This role pays well, especially in those booming tech hubs across the world. But hey, don't just look at US-based salaries. Use sites like Glassdoor and filter by country to get the real picture of what you could earn. Who wants you? Expect interest from big tech companies, established businesses in all sorts of industries, and those design-forward organizations that get how important UX is. Love inspiring a team, know how to delegate without being a control freak, and fight tooth and nail to put the user first. This role could be perfect. 2. User Research Lead. Alright, if you're the type who gets excited about truly understanding how people think and behave, a UX researcher role could be your perfect fit. Picture this, you're the detective of design, uncovering those hidden needs and motivations that make products genuinely useful. And trust me, this role is in demand everywhere. Those titles might stay similar across the globe, but how companies use research can vary a bit. So, what does a day in the life look like? Think planning detailed research studies, finding the right participants, getting into the nitty-gritty of analyzing those results. And then this is the key part, turning all that data into stories that convince teams and higher-ups to make those user-focused decisions. Need to know a background in stuff like psychology, how humans and computers interact. We call it HCI, or even market research, gives you a solid foundation. The more research methods you've mastered, the better. Salary talk. It's competitive, especially if you become an expert in those complex or new techniques businesses are hungry for. Who's looking for you? Companies that take UX seriously, those in complicated industries like healthcare or finance where research is crucial. And even specialized UX agencies that other businesses hire out too. If you're always asking why, are super analytical, and can turn data into a story that gets everyone on board, this could be the role for you. Just be prepared to balance those tight deadlines and budgets with doing the research right, and to stand your ground when those research findings might challenge some big assumptions. 3. Design strategist. Okay, if you're the type who loves connecting the dots, spotting trends, figuring out what users truly need, and understanding a business inside out, then a UX strategist path could be your calling. Imagine shaping entire products and services based on your strategic superpowers. And this isn't limited to one country. Look out for similar titles, like experience strategist or service designer, especially in places where consulting is big business. So, what's a typical day like? Expect lots of market research, figuring out what those pesky competitors are up to, running those awesome brainstorming sessions, mapping out long-term design plans, and yes, sometimes even influencing those fancy folks in the executive suites. Ready to play? You'll need a knack for strategic thinking, some business savvy, and the ability to show how brilliant design impacts the company's bottom line. Sounds good? The payoff is huge. Think seriously good salaries, especially as you climb the ladder. And particularly if you're working in consulting or with companies obsessed with innovation. Who's looking for you? Consulting firms, design agencies, or those in-house teams? At companies who know that staying ahead of the pack requires smart design strategy. If you're great at persuading others, love the challenge of figuring out complex problems, and can rock a business presentation while keeping those user-focused design principles in mind, this path is worth exploring. Just know, sometimes those projects can be long with lots of people involved, so patience is key. 4. UX or UI consultant. Okay, free spirits, if the idea of setting your own hours, choosing your own projects, and being your own design boss sounds amazing, freelancing is for you. Imagine helping businesses conquer those tricky design problems, giving expert advice, or creating those killer prototypes that bring ideas to life. And guess what? Freelancing is booming globally, so your clients could be the exciting startup down the road or a big international company looking for exactly what you do best. But let's be real, your day-to-day is a wild mix. You will spend time finding clients, figuring out what those projects actually need, diving into the design work itself, and hey, even tackling the not-so-fun stuff like invoices and taxes. Success check, you will need some awesome projects under your belt to prove you're the real deal, a killer portfolio, and the drive to find those clients and manage everything. The good news, freelancing offers freedom and potential for high earnings. But remember, it's on you to make it work. Unstable income is part of the deal. Who wants you? Any business, big or small, that needs help with those design problems. Especially startups or big companies who might outsource very specific tasks. If you're super self-motivated, love the hustle of finding the next project, great at networking, and can convince clients that hiring you is a no-brainer, then freelancing could be perfect. Just be prepared to balance staying creatively inspired with the business side of things. And accept that some months are feast, while others might be famine. 5. Product designer focused role. Okay, if you're the type of designer who geeks out over a specific area, whether it's designing awesome AR or VAR experiences, making tech usable for everyone, or becoming the mobile design guru, then a niche specialization path is for you. And this trend is global, so think job titles like AR/VR designer, accessibility specialist, or those senior mobile designer roles you see popping up. So, what would you actually do all day? It's all about becoming a master in your chosen area. This means designing, testing how people use the stuff you create, and never, ever stopping your learning journey. Got what it takes? You'll need a portfolio showcasing your specialization, a serious passion for staying up to date on the latest in your field, and an ability to really understand the unique needs of the people you design for. Ready for the payoff? Specialization can mean big bucks, especially if your skills are in high demand. Who's looking for you? Think cutting-edge tech companies pushing the boundaries of things like R or VAR and AI. Also, organizations passionately committed to accessibility or those focused on specific platforms like mobile-first products. If you love the thrill of diving deep into new tech or figuring out how to design for different abilities, are committed to being the best in your niche, and still enjoy working as part of a larger team, then this specialization path could be a perfect fit. Just be ready for the challenge of keeping those skills sharp in a field that changes rapidly, and being able to see the big picture while focusing on the details. 6. Product Manager. Okay, if you love to see the big picture and have a knack for making products successful, a product manager role could be for you. Picture this: you're at the heart of it all, figuring out the product strategy, what features it should have, setting those priorities, and making sure everyone from those tech wizards to the design team is working together. And hey, this isn't limited to one country. Titles may vary slightly, like mobile product manager or healthcare product manager, depending on the industry or focus. So, what's a typical day like? Expect lots of research into what's happening in the market, talking to real users, crunching those numbers, collaborating with engineers and designers, and generally making sure everyone is on the same page. Got what it takes? You'll need strong problem-solving skills, a knack for seeing the business side of things, and the ability to balance what users want with technical realities and those pesky deadlines. Ready for the payoff? Product management offers great salaries and serious growth potential, especially in those booming tech industries or within those spunky startups. Who's looking for you? Basically, any company creating digital products. Think tech giants, innovative startups, and companies across all sorts of industries. Finally, figuring out that good digital experiences matter. If you're a strategic thinker, have those natural leadership skills, are a great communicator, and get excited about being the champion for both amazing user experiences and business success, this path is worth diving into. Just be prepared for the challenge of keeping everyone happy, hitting those deadlines, managing budgets, and making sometimes difficult decisions based on the data in front of you. 7. Interactive Designer. If you're the type of designer who loves making things move and creating those wow moments in digital experiences, then a career specializing in interaction design could be perfect for you. Imagine bringing life to products, games, or even those mind-blowing AR or VAR experiences you see popping up. And hey, this is a global gig. Think about those creative cities and countries pushing technology in new ways. Titles might change a bit, like UX motion designer or XR designer, but the thrill is the same. What would you do all day? Picture storyboarding those awesome interactions, building prototypes that feel just right, playing around with animation tools, testing your ideas to see what works, and working side by side with developers to make your vision a reality. Sound exciting? You'll need a portfolio that showcases how you can design movement that adds meaning, an understanding of those core motion principles that make things feel natural, and sometimes even a bit of coding knowledge. The payoff: competitive salaries, especially in media or tech hotspots or for those experimenting with the latest technologies. Who's looking for you? Game studios, those digital agencies building cool interactive stuff. Tech companies pushing the boundaries of user experience, and even marketing firms dreaming up interactive campaigns that stand out. If you're passionate about grabbing a user's attention, obsessed with how movement and timing convey emotion, and always eager to play with new tools, this path is for you. Just be ready to balance beautiful design with what's actually possible to build, and to be able to explain those complex interaction ideas to a team of developers. 8. E-learning designer. Okay, if you're passionate about sharing knowledge and making learning truly engaging, then a career in instructional design could be for you. Picture yourself creating awesome online courses, those interactive lessons that actually make information stick, and designing digital experiences that help people around the world learn new skills. And hey, this isn't limited to just one country. With everyone from schools to businesses to those online learning platforms popping up, demand for smart instructional designers is booming worldwide. So, what does daily life look like? Think applying all those clever teaching principles to build content, playing around with cool e-learning tools, and making sure your lessons are doing their job. Ready to get started? A background in education or teaching is often a major bonus, combined with understanding how people learn best and how to make the experience engaging. The payoff, salary potential varies depending on where you work, but it can be truly lucrative if you're creating your own online courses or specializing in corporate training for those big companies. Who wants you? Schools, those departments in big companies that handle all the staff training, edtech companies creating those cutting-edge online learning platforms, and even independent consultants who work with all sorts of clients. If you're a great communicator, love breaking down complex things into a way that's easy to understand, and get excited about making learning fun, you might have just found your path. Just be ready for the challenge of keeping up with all the latest tools, balancing creativity with what actually works for teaching, and sometimes pushing the boundaries of the software you're using. 9. Design leadership at nonprofits or government agencies. Okay, if you're the kind of designer who dreams of making a real difference, using those design powers for good, then a career focused on social impact might be your calling. Imagine leading design teams creating websites, campaigns, or amazing digital tools that truly improve people's lives. And this need isn't limited to one country. Think about nonprofits fighting for clean water, international organizations making healthcare easier to access, and even governments finally realizing that design can make their services work better for citizens. What does your day look like? A combo of designing, managing your team, and being the champion of smart design as a way to tackle big problems within your organization. Got what it takes? You will need to care deeply about the cause. Know-how in the world of nonprofits or government work is a huge bonus, and strong leadership to inspire your team. Okay, let's talk salary. It might be less than what you'd make in the private sector, but with social impact design, the reward is seeing your work change lives. Who wants you? Nonprofits focused on everything from health to the environment, those NGOs working globally, design teams popping up inside government agencies, or those socially conscious startups determined to do good. If you're the kind of person who's driven by making a difference, are resilient in the face of challenges, can work with all sorts of people, and know how to be creative within tight budgets, this path is definitely worth exploring. Just be prepared for the unique challenges of finding funding, working within limits, and proving the impact your design is having. 10. Remote team leader. Okay, if the idea of building an amazing UX or X team, but doing it from anywhere in the world sounds exciting, then leading a remote team could be your dream gig. Think about working with a global company that already gets the whole remote work thing, or collaborating with clients from different countries, all from the comfort of your home office, or a beach chair, if that's your vibe. The trend of remote work is huge, So look for those companies with remote or distributed right in the job titles. So, what does daily life look like? Expect less hands-on design and more mentoring, setting super clear expectations, making those video calls work, and building a team that actually feels connected even though they're scattered across different time zones. Got what it takes? You'll need proven leadership skills, the ability to motivate yourself, top-notch time management, and a knack for building trust without all those in-person interactions. The payoff: salaries are often the same as in-person jobs, plus you might save on living in a fancy city center if that's not your thing. Who wants you? Remote-first startups are popping up all over. Also, think global companies that work across continents and agencies that offer remote design services to all sorts of clients. Love the flexibility of crafting your own work schedule, excellent written communication, and building a strong team spirit even across distances. This path could be amazing. Just know, sometimes those time zone differences can be rough. Managing a team you might never meet in person requires unique skills, and combating the occasional loneliness that comes with remote work is key. Okay, you've nailed leading a team, but now what? Time to figure out which career path sparks that true passion for design. And the good news is, the world's your oyster. So, let's dive in with some questions to help you figure out what honestly makes you tick as a designer. First, let's talk about what brings you joy. Do you lose yourself in those perfect design details? Or does your heart race when you see the big picture impact your work has on the entire company? Next, let's be honest about motivation. Is making a positive difference your top priority, even if the paycheck isn't as flashy? Or are you drawn to pushing those design boundaries and chasing those exciting, high-paying gigs in cutting-edge tech? Now, think about collaboration versus independence. Do you thrive on the buzz of teamwork, mentoring others, and brainstorming sessions? Or does the freedom and flexibility of freelancing, or even running your own design studio, sound like the dream? Speaking of dreams, what's your ideal work situation? Are you picturing the energy of being part of a global tech giant, the mission-focused vibe of a nonprofit, or the ability to work from literally anywhere with a stable Wi-Fi connection? Finally, let's get ambitious. Imagine yourself a few years from now. Are you managing even larger design teams, building your own design empire, or becoming the absolute go-to expert in a particular design niche? No wrong answers here. Just be honest with yourself and the path forward will start to become clear. Let's go. It's time to turn those design career dreams into reality. Alright, design superstars. If you've mastered leading a UX or XD team, but crave that next challenge, you've landed in the right spot. The world of design is huge, and your leadership skills are the perfect launchpad for exciting new adventures. We've explored some incredible options, from the strategic heights of a design manager to the impact-driven world of designing for nonprofits. There's a path that aligns perfectly with your passions and goals. Don't let fear stop you. Imposter syndrome? Forget about it. Your past successes are proof of your talent, and your leadership experience makes you incredibly valuable. Need new skills? Upskill with those online courses and passion projects. This is your time, design superstars. Let's turn these career dreams into reality. Which path will you explore first? Tell us in the comments and let's keep the inspiration flowing. And remember, stay subscribed for more insights, job tips, and inspiration.